The reason why I play is to be immortal, and I end up saying that I want to be the best. And my dad said, "Are you sure?" I said, "Yeah." And he asked me again, "Are you sure?"
Thank you for showing me the way. You instilled a work ethic in me at a young age that I can't thank you enough for.
And man, just went to work.
You're because I don't even know who runs college football anymore. Let's say you're Roger Goodell of college football.
You really are, though. Like,
and I think that shows because they expect Spencer Rattler to come out and play at a higher level. Don't forget, last year he played well.
Caleb Williams in the secondary. They're trying to run him down. Dives! They firmly believe that he's going to have a big future, but it's supposed to start next year.
Coach Riley left. That was a very difficult time for me and my family. After that, I ended up making the decision to come to USC and follow him.
And Colin's a big fan of yours, and he had asked me, he said, "Do you think Caleb," before the season, he said, "Do you think Caleb can win the Heisman?" I was like, "Nah, man. He's winning too."
And the winner for 2022, Caleb Williams, Southern Cal.
If folks are dying for the can't-miss franchise quarterback to come into the league, Colin, just wait another year.
You know, trying to impress the little me, the dude that said he wanted to be the best.
congrats on everything, bro. Been following you for a while. Appreciate you coming on. You and Jordan, we just talked about this. I don't know you yet. It's the first time meeting you. Pumped about this. You and Jordan known each other for a while. Jordan, when did you meet Caleb?
Elite 11 process. Were you going into your junior year, going into your senior year?
Going into my senior year, I remember the day. You were around a little bit, but then actually meeting you and talking to you, it was we were inside and we were talking about breathing. Believe it or not, we were talking about breathing and how important it is, and how I use and you've seen in games if you watch when we have big games and big moments. When we go out there, I take a deep breath and get going and go down and score. So that's how we really met and how we actually kind of started talking and hanging out and talking ball.
We're gonna get right into it, man. I went on the herd. I go on there every now and then. I went on and Colin's a big fan of yours, and he had asked me. He said, "Do you think Caleb?" Before the season, he said, "Do you think Caleb can win the Heisman?" I was like, "Nah, man. He's winning too." Live on air, I said it. I know there's team goals, but talk about it.
Self goals, though.
Absolutely.
There's always self goals. You set your self goals before, and then you figure out the team goals, you always have to set a high expectation for both, and reach for the bar. So I did that night. I did tell Archie I'd be back. So we'll have to see this year.
I love that you say the personal goals are relevant because everybody's so scared to say it. They just say, no, team goals, It's all team first, even though it's like, what? Yeah. And in my experience, most people don't aim too high and miss. They aim too low and they hit. Yeah. So I like your approach.
Yeah, no, thank you.
I agree. I feel like it's so few and far between. It's easy to deflect and just be like, it's about the team, if we win a championship, blah, blah, and you obviously want to win a championship, but do you think going into the season, like personal goals, right? For you want to grow, you want to be able to be an NFL quarterback next year, you want to do all those things, you want to go high in the draft, but personal goals for you this year, Heisman ranks up as one of those top ones? Yeah,
and it ranks because one of those top ones because, one, there also is something that deals with national championship in there, and there's never been a two-time Heisman winner with a national championship. So I wanna have the opportunity. So you got the opportunity, try and go do it. And so I wanna be able to make history. Reason why I play, for other than some other small things, is to be immortal, and to be immortal, you got to win championships.
That's a strong word. That's not aiming too high and missing. That's
no.
I like it. So one of the coolest things I've followed since when I met you was also when I met your family, when you were a young guy, is your pops. He's pushing really hard. It's well documented. Heisman, you talked about it. Tell us a little bit about it. I'm a father of 3. I want to hear the answer. I got 3 boys. I want to hear the answer. How'd he push you? What ways? When? How'd that go?
I've always had a certain sense of competitiveness about me, but I would always be with the older.
Did you
kid.
always want to be the best, or did you want to beat the kid next to you?
At a younger age, before I decided that I wanted to play football for the rest of my life, it was like I want to beat whoever's in front of me. I want to beat everyone around me. If we're working out, if we're playing another team, I want to beat everybody, and things like that. So when we lost, it hurt and affected me just like it does now, as you've seen on damn TV. I get all mad about losses and all hurt and things like that. But no, I've always been competitive. But when I started working out and training, is when it all switched and clicked in my head. And my dad, at a really young age, I decided I wanted to play football at 10, 9 years old, turning 10. And it was after a loss, and this team was playing daddy ball, or not this team, but the team that I was on, the QB and his coach, or the coach was father and son, and so they were playing daddy ball, and it when we lost, it hurt so bad that I said I want to go play QB, I want to spread the ball around to everybody, and I want to go win big games, and I end up saying that I want to be the best. My dad said, "Are you sure?" I said, "Yeah." And he asked me again, "Are you sure?" And I told him, "Yeah." He said, "Okay." He put together a plan, whether it was food, nutrition, and things like that, or if it was actual workouts and what I'm doing, finding right trainers if he didn't know, right people to reach out to, and things like that. Man, just went to work. We just went to work. And there's days, because we call it Breakfast Club. I used to wake up around 4:30, 4:45, and be at the facility training at 5:30 for about an hour and a half, 2 hours. Used to go home, shower, go to school. After that, we go and after school, I do my homework in the car. After that, go home, change, go back to the gym, and that was more of like training. And at that time, I wasn't lifting weights. I was more of like lifting the bar. I was lifting, very lightweight, just kind of training my muscles, training the functions and movements. And then when I started getting older, so I did that from 10 to around 13, 14. So I did that for like 3 years straight. And there was days, even LeBron talks about it, it's just like days where you just don't want to do it and get up and train and go at it as hard as you do. And there's days where, as a young kid, I was fighting it. I didn't want to go. Deep down, I always got up. I always got up and ended up going. But there was days where I was hurting. I didn't want to go some days. I was, it built a lot of mental toughness, fortitude, and things like that for me now. And really appreciate, him for pushing me, because he wouldn't, he didn't just give in and say, "Okay, we'll go tomorrow."
Did you ever look around and be like, "Man, none of the kids my age are doing this. Am I doing too much?"
That was one of the loneliest times for me, because everybody at 10 years old is
playing Legos.
Yeah, like
they're sleeping till 11. Yeah,
sleeping till and so that was one of the loneliest times for me, and it's paid off. It's helped me tremendously, whether it's toughness, whether it's working out and doing the right thing, whether it's the hunger to progress and things like that, and get better and keep going. Trying to impress the little me, the dude that said he wanted to be the best. And so it's helped me tremendously. And I've always, going back to being a little kid, I'm a lot bigger now, but when I was younger, I was never, I was a late blossom in height and weight and things like that. So I reclassified even 8th grade, because I wanted to start varsity freshman year, and things like that. So I've always been a smaller guy, and so I was always with the older guys, the bigger guys, and competing against them, and it's made me tremendously better. Like Blake Corum, we used to work out at 5:30 in the morning, me and him. He's always been special, and so I used to be right next to him, trying to beat him in races, trying to beat him and whether it was ladders, trying to beat him, and not stopping in the workout, and whatever the case may be, just building a mental fortitude, a mental toughness, and also a certain level of competition inside myself that I want to beat everybody that I can, and if I can, I'll find a way to beat you.
Yeah, don't change that.
Yeah, that's special. I mean, Jordan doesn't even play his kid on his flag football team, so daddy ball's not happening over there, Jordan. I went to one of Jordan's flag football games like 2 months ago, and his son's just fucking bench riding over there. It's
Nah, he was playing. He was the center. He's involved in every play.
Yeah, in flag football.
But you want to move back a spot to quarterback, you got to show me, not tell me.
He's the non-eligible center.
I'm on the Mr. Williams train.
Yeah. Let's shift gears a little too with Coach Riley. Committed to him early. OU, obviously following to USC. He's got a great offense. I played in a similar offense. I played at A&M with, the old Kevin Sumlin offense, Johnny Manziel, Cliff Kingsbury, the old run and shoot. It's kind of all in the similar tree. So when we're talking about progressions and shit, I know I had 0 progressions in college. So it's evolved a lot since I've been there.
It's evolved.
It's evolved a lot. But watching cut-ups and stuff, right? So you're a young guy. You're getting to learn this offense. And when you're watching cut-ups of old offense, you're getting to watch Baker Mayfield, number 1 pick, Kyler Murray, number 1 pick, Jalen Hurts, Super Bowl guy. Like the amount of cut-ups that you've watched with all these amazing players is pretty incredible. I don't think it's probably not replicated anywhere else. When you are watching old tape like that, who did you find yourself watching the most?
You like that question, huh?
I like that question. I've never gotten that question. It's a good question. I say Baker or Jalen, because Jalen was one of the more recent players, closer to me when I was transitioning to college and things like that. And then I say Baker. He had a bunch of big games. Played a lot of games for Coach Riley. I had a lot of big plays and things like that. So we had a couple plays for Kyler that we watched, especially that he did well. But Baker and Jalen.
Yeah, it's tough to copy Kyler. It's a whole different player. He's in his own world.
Yeah,
but it's interesting, Baker. It's interesting you say Baker, right? Because Baker, when I remember watching Oklahoma back in the day with Baker was sitting in the pocket. He was making some plays with his legs. He can move, but he was sitting in the pocket, and he was the most accurate guy in college football, right? He was putting the ball in the money. And the way the offense is shaped with Lincoln, which I think makes him one of the best coaches in college football, is he tailors it to his guy, right?
Yeah.
And I'm sure, especially now, you being in this offense for 2+ years, you got a lot of opinion, you got a lot of say on it now, and you're comfortable saying it too.
Yeah,
I bet you do.
We
That's
argue.
the best.
We'll be middle of the I'll be middle of the field, and we'll be looking at each other. And I'm just like, and he'll say, yeah. I'm like, like, yeah.
Shake it off. Yeah,
So
call your own play.
Yeah, it's so much fun. But no, we got a great relationship. But no, he does cater. That's the cool part about him, is that, like you said, he does cater it to, his guys, and not just the QB, but also the wide receivers, the tight ends, the offensive linemen. He does a very good job adapting and being able to do special things like that year in and year out. That's why he does so good. He has his ego is very low. He doesn't have an ego.
Rare.
Yeah, it's super rare, which is awesome. To have his the guy leading me out there, and it just builds a lot of confidence because he also, there's times in biggest games and things like that, like Utah. It's we're about to go in the half, we're backed up, and things like that, and we end up getting a timeout or something, or we're about to go out there, and he lets me call the play, and the play worked, but it got punched out at the end, but play worked, and it just provides you as a QB more confidence that your guy, your coach, believes in you, and something he does well.
You said 2 things right there that stick out to me. One, I think the most common denominator in the elite quarterbacks is confidence. I think the most common denominator in the elite coaches is humility.
Yeah.
It's not confidence. It's not how smart they are. They're not all geniuses.
Yeah.
The best coaches I've been around, college and pro, are the dudes who don't think they have it figured out and are super open to learning and looking at it from a different perspective. So I like that.
Yeah, like today, he said for all the QBs in the room, go upstairs and you go put a play up on the board. and we'll all look at it. We'll all choose. We'll play, fits best with us and things like that, and we'll go run it the next day, tomorrow. And so he does cool things like that. Not a play we have in our playbook. A play that
make something up.
Yeah, like a play that we've never ran. We don't run. No name, no tags, not like just you go and all of the QBs got a play to put up there, and we all vote on it, and we go out there the next day and run it. So.
Well, yours obviously won. I mean, I'm sure.
Yeah, mine's probably gonna win. To be honest with you, but we'll see.
We'll see that week.
Real political in that room, I'm sure.
Yeah, real political.
Yeah.
I feel like in crypto, and I feel like it's true with NIL, the experts are in their early 20s. It's not the 65-year-old person.
No, it's not.
Who's the expert on NIL. It's you. It's people your age. So let's say you're the because I don't even know who runs college football anymore. Let's say you're Roger Goodell of college football.
No, I'm joking.
Okay?
You really are, though. Like, you really are.
Let's say that, right? Like, not which team today and tomorrow with, like, where's college football going? Like, you're in the locker room, you're talking to other decision makers and kingmakers and all that stuff. Like, where's college football going in the next couple of years?
Yeah.
Not necessarily this team to that division, but how do you see this shaping? Because you're living in it in a way that no fan and no NFL player who used to play college football, none of us see it the way you see it.
Yeah, I think it's great. I think it's, to be honest with you, I think it's headed in a cool direction. I think there's a fine line though of, like you said, the 60-year-olds, and not only the 60-year-olds, but the 16-year-olds. There's a very, and like you said, the 60-year-olds, people in the NFL, most of them agree. Most of them are on our side because they were most recently in the shoes of a college athlete. But it goes on basically like the whole jersey thing, a tradition. It's like you're not in college anymore working for it. You're not out there grinding and stuff. So you don't have much of a say. You shouldn't have much of a say in that spectrum. And then moving back to the 14, 15, 16, 17 and 18-year-olds in high school. I have a very it's very simple way to do it and simple way to put it and things like that. When I got to college, NIL was just starting. And my thing was that I'm not going to do any deals. I'm not going to all of this stuff. I don't deserve anything. None of that. I'm going to go out there when I start making plays, when I do, what I know I'm going to do and things like that, then you earn your money. It's just like a regular job in the world. When you do good, when you work hard, when you're disciplined, when you do all the things you need to do, you earn. So there's never a surprise. You're not pushing. You don't have to push for any deal. You don't have to push for any of that. When you go out there, do your job, and you do it the right way, and you're a good person, get human, things are going to come to you. And so the whole offering money to these 16-year-olds kills me. Oh, it makes me so angry. Because I had the opportunity to earn money my freshman year and things like that. But like I said, I chose to, I'm going to work for this. I know I'm going to get it if I do what I need to do. And I'm not going to miss out on anything. And
it's delayed gratification, right? I mean, it's just
these kids
forego it now, it'll be more later. And it's just like, that's one of the hardest lessons people learn in general. It's
like just kind of listening to recruiting. I'm still in college, so listening to recruiting and these players, these kids that haven't done anything, haven't stepped foot on campus to get their tail kicked by 5 a.m. alarm, 4:30 a.m. alarm to get inside the facility and be there an hour early to get treatment, get in a hot tub, be ready for the workout, or treatment, hot tub, watch film, or whatever the case may be for practice, or go over the script the night before, whatever the case may be. Like they haven't been through, they don't know all of that. And so it eats me up inside when I hear about these kids asking for millions of dollars, or
not only getting it, they're asking for it too. That's the crazy part.
That kills me. Their parents calling asking for it. It's like that kills me. And then the older people trying to crack down on the kids in college that's not making money from the school. Like, you're not paying me. What do you?
Yeah.
You don't have any say. You don't, like, the school's not paying me. I'm not doing anything a benefit for the school other than going out there and playing ball, which you still make a boatload of money. You know, it's like for us, and you don't pay us. We're going out there, we're getting these deals because of who we are, and whether it's as a person, whether it's, you know, the school that you're at, whether it's you know, the plays you're out there making, and the name that you've made for yourself, and who you're going to become. It's, you know, you're like, I think that the college players deserve it, and so, you know, the after college range where the older people try and, you know, dictate things, I don't think that they have the right to, because like you said, they've never been in it. And then the younger kids, they gotta, I don't know, I don't necessarily know that standpoint. That standpoint kind of annoys me and scares me, but when the kids are actually in college, I think they deserve it when they get their playing time, just like a regular job. You know, the guy that doesn't play, the guy that, you know, may be working for a spot and things like that, you know, he'll deserve money when he actually gets out there and produces for the team. It's just like any job. You get paid for what you do and how good you do it. Just like a manager doesn't get paid for the same as, you know, a employee that just started. It just makes sense.
Yeah, I think it's super self-aware. I mean, I think that's one of the ways I'd describe you. There's a bunch of physical stuff to talk about. I think the two most important traits in a quarterback are confidence and maturity. That's why when we met and after you won it, I told you what I told you. You know what I mean? I'm like, these two things are off the charts. This is probably going to go exactly the way that you see it going from here on out. All right, so with the Heisman and with some of the stuff, you've had a pretty good offseason. Well documented on social. So we're going to play a little game here. We're going to throw, based off what we've seen, a couple of things that you've got to do. We're going to throw two things in front of you. You pick one, and we'll kind of end up with what actually was the highlight of your offseason, if that makes sense. So
yeah, you've done a lot of cool stuff. To be honest, I went on your Instagram. I'm surprised. Heisman, USC, you only got 200,000 followers, man. The people aren't showing you love.
Yeah, whatever.
I've been following you for a while, though. I'm day one. I got you.
Yeah.
But you've been doing a lot of cool shit, though. So we're going to start with this, all right? You started for the NASCAR race. That was pretty awesome. But you were also walking in the Hugo Boss fashion show. Which one was cooler?
Fashion show. That was unbelievable.
That was crazy. I saw a lot of pics from there.
It was unbelievable because it was my first ever. I mean, it was my first ever. Also started in NASCAR, but like you actually like you get to start it and then you go sit down and watch. And the fashion show, like, you go through the whole process and you go out there in front of people recording. It's a international thing, not national, international.
Yeah.
And it was an unbelievable experience. And they had a little after party. You get to meet the owner of Hugo Boss, the CEO of Hugo Boss. And just kind of, you know, the whole vibe of it was insane. I mean, if you look at it, it looks like it's raining outside. We were in Miami.
I saw, yeah.
It was a very kind of warm night and things like that, and it looks like it's pouring. And then all the adversity that you have to go through that people don't know. The platform was extremely slippery.
You said adversity.
Adversity. You got to go through a lot of adversity. So the platform was extremely.
He hadn't eaten in 3 days.
It's all relative. It's all relative. Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, and it was funny because all the models and things like that, they were freaking out, and I mean like freaking out. Like they're like slipping in the the walkthrough part of it, and go back in. They're like, when we're under the tent, things like that, they're freaking out. They're saying all this blah 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 blah, and I'm kind of looking around, and it's like, I'm about to go out here and kill it because they've obviously never been in this situation. I play versus 300 pounders every week, and so no, that was probably one of the funnest things I've done.
Yeah, I was going to ask if you were confident in your walk down the aisle, but it seems like you were all good. You were chilling. Even with all the adversity going on. I get it, dude. I get it. Trust me. So we go to that. So you did the Hugo Boss fashion show. You also threw the first pitch out at the Nationals game and the Dodgers game.
Yeah.
Which one's better, fashion show or throwing the first pitch?
I'd say probably the Dodgers. The Dodgers in the first pitch for that one, that was pretty electric. It was also versus the Angels, so the game after, being able to bring the offensive linemen and them and be able to watch that game, but also bring them out in the field. And it was And they were talking to me, the offensive linemen, and like, I've never been to a baseball game. I've never done this and that. I've never been on the field of a baseball game. I've never done these things. I've never been to a Dodgers game. All these really first time things. And so to be able to kind of, bring all my 6 starters, and then I also brought the walk-ons and the freshies, and brought the whole offensive line. And so being able to kind of share that moment, and then after that we stopped at Angel's Tacos and feasted. So it was fun.
Another thing you did, you went to F1 in Monaco.
That's number one.
I heard it's special.
That was unbelievable.
Crazy. It's a whole different world, right?
You don't understand. I've heard all the stories before I went out there. You kind of heard about it and things like that, and people talking about F1, but the Monaco F1 experience is it's nothing like it. It was a blast. All the events, all the people you get to meet, the vibe of it, being in Monaco, and then watching the race around the tight roads, and streets and things like that, and you especially being in our position and playing the position of QB, the driver gets so much recognition and things like that, but the people behind them that I was watching them put together a car before the race, and they're putting, when you screw something you use a screwdriver and you screw it into a piece of wood, and you have that little divot of the screwdriver in the wood, or the screw in the wood. They're putting tape over that so the car moves smoothly through so it's just such a team thing, and it connects with my position and things like that. So I love F1, so that's number one for me.
It's also a little glimpse into the difference between somebody who has a couple $100 million and somebody who has a couple billion, because there's a vast difference when you go to Monaco and you see that level of money is different.
Yeah, very fine line.
All right, last one we got too. I think this is the one you're going to pick is the best because you seem like a good dude, but you surprised your mom with the trip to Europe too. I don't know if that was during Monaco or after, but we saw it on Instagram. It looked awesome. Got to spend some time with your mom. How was that?
Yeah, it was amazing. So she wanted to go to Europe for her 50th birthday. She didn't specifically say where. And so when COVID happened around her 50th birthday, so she couldn't go. So COVID recently ended, and I'm able to do some cool things, and so planned a whole 2-week trip, and surprised her 2 days before the trip. She didn't have time to think. She didn't none of that. Just get your passport and ID, and I got your flight and everything. We got all the hotels and situated, well in advance and things like that. So being able to provide her with that experience, understanding that she wanted to go a couple years ago, and me being able to provide that experience was for sure top of my list of things that I've been able to do for someone or for a multitude of people. So being able to do that it was a really good feeling. It's something that you always want to do as a child, especially to the people that sacrifice for you and take care of you. And so being able to do that for her was for sure top of the list.
Yeah, that's awesome. I saw your Instagram. I know you were in Positano just strictly off of the gas station you posted. Yeah. I was just there too. Positano, wild, man.
I lost 7 pounds eating.
I know you were walking like crazy too.
Just eating. I mean,
yeah.
10,000 steps and everything. Just eating. The food there was amazing.
They don't tell you that, you look at the map and you're booking hotels. So I went with my buddy Christian Kirk.
Yeah, they don't tell you that. I was all the way at the top, so I had to shuttle down.
Yeah, and when you're booking the hotel, you're like, oh yeah, that one looks fine. It looks like a 5-minute walk down there. Yeah, you shuttle down and then you walk your ass off.
30 minutes, 40 minutes, easy.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Well, I mean, you got a lot of fucking awesome off seasons ahead of you too. But that's a good way to start, especially with. I think it's cool. You talked about NIL a lot. We're not going to get into NIL a lot right today, but what it's afforded players like you who can handle it, I know there's a lot of young guys who can't handle it, but guys who can handle it and guys who are mature about it, you deserve it, man. So it's really cool.
Thank you.
It's a head start on the life you were already destined to live anyway.
Exactly.
So for that, it's let's just start it now. A lot of other guys will handle it poorly. With you, let's just start it now. Another thing that's gone really well for you has been Caleb Cares, your foundation. What pulled on your heart and got you so invested in building this foundation?
It's something that's been instilled in me from whether it's my high school, my parents, and my mentors and my parents, they always help out. And as a younger kid, I've said this many times, as a younger kid, you sit there and you look at your parents and things like that, and you keep asking, like, why are you helping these people? Like, why are you this and that? Like, the selfish side of the kid. And then you grow up and you get a little older, a little bit more mature, and you kind of see, and you get out in the world, and especially having a platform and being in a position that you can help and reach out to people, and especially when you have a platform. If you don't do something like that, I feel like you're in the wrong. And so now that I have a platform, now that I'm this and that, it's more on a national level and things like that where I'm helping out, but it's something that I've been doing for a while. And just now I'm trying to reach more and more people. And the reason for mental health and anti-bullying is because in the most recent years, the rapid increase for those two things have been the main two things that I think we need to support and help out in. So that was the main couple of reasons. And then, I mean, like you said, you turn into the most popular kid, but nowadays, social media and things like that, there's a lot of people that say a lot of things on there and don't have to, face the facts of it. And so, I paint my nails and I do things like that, and people don't like it. People say things, and they try and break me down and things like that. But I have people around me that help support me and reach out to me, and things like that. That my mentors, my family members, the people that actually care about me in my corner. And so, being able to provide that perspective of it to the kids and things like that, and being able to still connect with them is important, which I feel as if I can do. And it's been really cool because I'm 21 and these kids, and I mainly work with kids right now. We want to work with everyone, but these kids and things like that, they listen, and it's the craziest thing to me because I don't know if I would have listened to a 21-year-old, but it's really cool for me. It's a really awesome experience. It's very eye-opening, because you're in this position that I'm in, and you're all around everywhere. You can do all these other cool things. You play ball, things like that, and then having a reset and going to see these kids and help and reach out is a very very, very good feeling.
It's gratifying, man. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very gratifying. And they actually listen to you. And I've had the teachers or and principals and things like that of the schools or whatever the case may be come back and kind of just provide the positive reinforcement that the work that we're doing has been working, and it's been good for the kids. So it's a very gratifying feeling, like you said, and it's really cool for me. So
well, I've ended every single camp I've ever done with the same speech. I guarantee there's a kid at your school, I'm talking to a room full of quarterbacks, who could greatly benefit from being friends with the quarterback.
Yeah, it's something that my school has instilled in me also. Gonzaga is meant for others, so it's been awesome. Jesuit education, baby.
Yeah. All right, Kyle, you got a quick game we're gonna play, and then we're gonna wrap this thing up.
Yeah, we'll get you out of here, man. I know you're in camp. So we play this with a lot of our guys. It's first impression game. We're gonna just throw some names out there. Give us a quick first impression of these guys, whatever comes to mind when you hear their name. So these are all guys that you've known, interacted with, been around. There's probably a ton of other cooler ones that we don't know about yet, but we're gonna say some right now. So first name, we got Jordan Addison.
Oh, silent assassin. Is it one word? Is it one word, or is it?
You can do whatever you want.
A couple of words.
Yeah.
Oh, silent assassin.
But we don't need not a 2 minutes deep down. Just either one word, a couple words. Silent assassin. I like that.
Yeah, silent assassin.
He's balling in Minnesota camp
balling.
too.
No, he's been balling. He sends me videos.
He's going to get a lot of single coverage.
A lot of single.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, good for him. John Legend.
Poetic.
What about Jordan's brother, Carson Palmer?
First pick.
Reggie Bush.
Heisman. GOAT. Legend. I can keep going.
What about Bronny James?
Bronny. Cool dude.
Yeah? Interacted with him much yet?
Yeah, cool, just normal dude. Cool, normal dude.
Cool.
Wish the best for him right now.
Deion Sanders.
Legend.
All right, former Pac-12. Well, we don't know what the Pac-12 looks like anymore, but as of right now, former Pac-12, Bo Nix.
Nice guy. He's a very nice. Like I met him. It was my first time meeting him at Pac-12 media, and he was a real cool dude to be around. Came to me, introduced himself, and we kind of kicked it from there, and just was talking ball, talking about everything, talking about the season, things like that. Cool dude.
Yeah, you talk about Pac-12 in 10 years, how great the Pac-12 was, man. Pac-12 was so gone, dude. I can't believe that happened. Last one, Cam Rising.
Gamer. He's a gamer. Good ball player.
All right. We're going to end this thing we end with every guest, okay? It's called the 2-minute drill. You got 2 minutes. We want to hear your journey. You can start it wherever you want to start it, middle school, high school, college. It would be like a snapshot if somebody basically just said, wait, who's the Caleb Williams guy? They're going to have a little 2-minute. Ball's going to go across the field, the whole deal. And just start it where you want it. This is your elevator pitch. This is who you are. The highs, the lows is typically what's most relevant. But for most our roomies, which is what you are now that you've been on, roomie, this is everybody's favorite part. So your chance to kind of just share in 2 minutes. This is me. I start it here and it ends with wherever it ends today.
I started off at Bowie Bowie Boys and Girls Club, and I got benched for the first time ever in my life. I was around 12 years old, 11, 12 years old, and the first time I ever got benched. And I got angry in a game, and I was playing linebacker and running back before, so I could get angry and go take over a game. But I had to at that time change my mindset and change how you play the game. And so starting there, moving on, I ended up getting benched. It changed my life forever. I'll never forget it. Moving on, I get to high school, and I got 2 guys in front of me, 2 juniors, and I said I'd go win and take the spot. So I ended up moving out there to D.C., and lived in D.C. on my own. Got to D.C., ended up winning the job. One of my offensive linemen said, if you don't win the job, I'm going to beat your ass. And so I ended up winning the job. Ended up winning the job. Moving on to college, I had this guy in front of me. He was supposedly number 1 overall pick, first in Heisman ranking. I told coach that I'd walk on because it was a commit before me, and I'd beat everybody out. He ended up decommitting. I went there. I said that I was going. If you could ask the lead 11 guys, that I was going to go there and I was going to end up playing and starting. I said first game, but that didn't end up happening. But I did say I was going to end up starting to take a spot. And after that, ended up doing that. It was a emotional roller coaster, one of the toughest times in my life because I felt like I should have been playing and starting. Other than that, moving on, Coach Riley left. That was a very difficult time for me and my family. After that, I ended up making the decision to come to USC and follow him. And that was the best path for me, my family, my journey, to go be the best, win Heisman, go get a national championship, go pro, be the best.
Well done.
It's awesome, dude.
Caleb Williams. Well, Caleb, thanks for coming on, man. I told you in Dallas, I think. Is that where it was? Elite 11 that year? LA, maybe? At that point, I'd never told anybody that you're the best I've ever seen at that age, and you are tracking nicely to be the same thing as you wrap up college, whenever that is. And so it's just been fun to watch, man. It's been fun to watch and also see nothing change, right? So we've, been doing this a minute. Seen a lot of – it's hard to impress me. I don't know. I've seen a lot of greatness, right? And a lot of people have high highs and low lows, but to see you not change –
Yep.
I think that's honestly more impressive than winning a Heisman. Someone's going to win one every year.
Yeah.
But to see you not change and to see you recommit every single year has been super impressive, man. And that's the stuff that's when you talk about immortality, when you talk about legendary, it's not talent. Mm-hmm. I believe the best athletes and the truly elite ones get behind their behaviors, not behind their talents.
Yep.
Tom Brady's been out behaving people for 25 years,
yeah,
right?
Exactly.
And so for you to have the talent that you have and to lean into those behaviors, I think that's why the trajectory is what it is. So appreciate you coming on, man, and spend some time with us.
No, thank you for having me. Appreciate you, Jordan and Kyle.
Yeah, man.
See you all
it's been
soon.
good getting to know you, bro. Can't wait to watch you. maturity level's off the charts, dude. It's been fun watching you so far. Just even getting to know you just makes sense, man. It really does. It makes sense.